This video is on how to start the large 6mm guillotine. Right, so when we come over to the guillotine and we're trying to turn it on, we first turn the key on at the control panel, and then we get this control panel to light up. So when you want to start it, you need to make sure that the stop buttons are released. They are the emergency stop buttons. Just turn it to the right and it will unclick it. And from that point, if the gate on the back of the guillotine is closed properly and the two emergency stop buttons are deactivated, it should just start on the green button. And from there, if we look at the control panel, we've got this red light on. It has to have the green rectangle pressed for it to engage and start the guillotine, to be able to cut with the guillotine. We want to change a setting on the guillotine for the back stop. What we do is we push the red rectangle for a start. We can push C for clear, and we can type in, I'm going to type in 100mm. And then we just push the green rectangle, and that activates the backstop and brings the backstop into 100mm. It's out by 0.03 of a millimetre at the moment. Nothing to worry about. It's still effectively at 100mm. So that's how you set the backstop. If you want to do change the rake angle, what we have to do is we have to lift the lever on the bottom left-hand side of the guillotine. I've just lifted that up. And then we've got this symbol here for the rake angle. We've got a minus and a positive. Let's say I want to cut a bit of 6mm material. So what we divide the sheet by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. And that's the rake angle that you're going to set it at. So we want to set it at 3 degrees. So we just push the plus button until the 3 degrees light lights up. And then we lock the lever back down on the left-hand side of the guillotine. So it's ready to cut in that position, and if we want to take it back, so let's say we're going to cut a bit of 2mm material, so 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we would have to come back to the 1 degrees. So we lift the lever again on the left hand side, and we just take it down. Now, as the lights come down, they don't show up. Sometimes you can go past, but just bring it back up to where it wants to be and lock the lever back down on the side of the guillotine. So that's how you set the rake angle and the backstop. On the left hand side here, we've got this dial, and this is the clearance for the material thickness. Currently it's set at about 1.2mm, and let's say I want to cut a bit of 3mm material. I just wind the handle until the lever points to the 3, so that's the clearance set for 3mm. If I want to cut a bit of 6mm, I'm simply going to wind it up until I get to 6, and that's the clearance between the blades for the 6mm. Down to 1, just wind it back down, so for 1mm. The dial goes up to 12mm. The guillotine is only rated at 6mm over 3.1 metres long. So it's only the first half of the dial that's actually used. The second half of the dial is not actually used at all. So those are the 3 things that you need to do when you come over here, is set the material thickness on that dial there, and then set everything up on the control panel. So rake angle and backstop on this control panel here. When you stop it, you should always really turn it off at the stop button here instead of using the emergency stops. You've simply got to deactivate those by rotating them to the right. So that's how you turn the guillotine off and on. Just remember that the gate at the back of the guillotine must be closed. It's got a solenoid on it, and if it's not closed, the guillotine will not start. So if you come over here to start it, you've got the 2 emergency switches here to deactivate, and make sure the gate on the back of the guillotine is closed, and that way it should start up for you. Leave it there, thank you.